What happens when ancient Stoic wisdom collides with modern business empire? Seneca, the Stoic philosopher teaching virtue, self-control, and mastery over desire, versus Jeff Bezos, the founder of Amazon, visionary entrepreneur, and global business icon. Watch closely, like, comment, and subscribe now, because this clash may change the way you see discipline, ambition, and the pursuit of lasting success. This is Seneca versus Bezos.
Life rewards those who think long-term, who plan meticulously, and who are willing to take bold risks when others hesitate. From founding Amazon in a tiny garage to leading ventures that reach beyond our planet, I have learned that vision alone is not enough. Execution, discipline, and relentless perseverance are what turn ideas into reality. I have faced setbacks, failures, and moments of doubt. Yet each challenge taught me more than success ever could. Risk is not the enemy. It is the measure of what we are capable of achieving. To innovate, to lead, to create on a global scale, one must embrace discomfort, endure criticism, and push beyond limits. Comfort and complacency are luxuries reserved for those content with mediocrity. Empowerment comes from understanding leverage, how to amplify your work, your ideas, and your team to achieve extraordinary outcomes. Leadership is not about command alone. It is about enabling others, creating systems that magnify effort, and shaping culture through example. Each decision, each calculated risk, each failure transformed into learning contributes to long-term growth. I also recognize the importance of vision and ethics. Influence comes with responsibility. Creating empires is meaningless if it undermines trust, integrity, or human dignity. True success balances ambition with moral judgment and foresight. One cannot achieve greatness without considering the consequences of one's actions on society, on employees, and on the future. We live in a world that rewards action, boldness, and creativity. Yet the most enduring leaders are those who combine vision with disciplined practice. The mind shapes strategy, but the hands execute. Dreams without discipline are fantasies. Discipline without vision is hollow. The balance of the two defines the measure of a person, a company, or a civilization. I invite everyone listening to consider this. The path to achievement is paved with clarity, focus, and the courage to act decisively. Do not wait for permission. Do not fear failure. And do not underestimate the power of consistent, deliberate effort. Vision transforms potential into legacy, but only if paired with disciplined action and relentless pursuit. I am Jeff Bezos, and I have learned that the world favors those who combine daring ideas with careful execution. Observe closely and take lessons from both triumphs and setbacks, because the pursuit of greatness is relentless, and the rewards are reserved for those who dare to act.
Jeff, your achievements are undeniable, and the scale of your vision inspires awe. You have shown what human ambition, discipline, and courage can accomplish in the material world. Yet I must remind us all that the mind and the soul are the true arenas of mastery. Greatness without virtue is fleeting, and wealth without wisdom is fragile. The Stoic teaches that external success, fortune, fame, power, cannot guarantee tranquility or happiness. It is the control of desire, the understanding of what is within our power, and the cultivation of reason that allow a man to endure adversity with grace. You speak of vision, execution, and influence. These are admirable, but they are not the measure of a fulfilled life. Consider this: obstacles, failures, and fortune itself are indifferent. They are neither good nor evil. The wise person focuses not on the uncontrollable, but on the actions, thoughts, and judgments within his own power. To achieve true freedom, one must master impulses, moderate desires, and act in accordance with virtue, not only with ambition. Discipline, as you have described, is a tool, but it must serve wisdom, not mere accumulation. Leadership and vision are enhanced when tempered by justice, temperance, and integrity. For what is a company, a project, or a legacy if it corrupts the mind or diminishes character? The Stoic path reminds us that life is brief and that the value of our deeds lies in the alignment with virtue, not in the applause of the world. Ambition can be noble when guided by reason. Pursuit of excellence is worthy when it benefits others and is pursued with moderation. But a man who seeks only wealth, fame, or power risks becoming a slave to fortune itself, forever anxious, forever unsatisfied. True influence stems from wisdom, calm judgment, and ethical action. Jeff, I do not diminish your accomplishments. Rather, I ask all of us to consider the mind's discipline, the soul's integrity, and the serenity that comes from living virtuously. These are the foundations upon which any lasting legacy must rest. The Stoic does not reject effort or action, but he aligns it with reason, ethics, and self-mastery. Observe your victories, yes, but do not neglect the mastery of the self. That is the arena in which every man can triumph, regardless of fortune, fame, or circumstance. And it is in this mastery that true greatness endures.
Seneca, I hear your words, and I respect the wisdom in your caution. Discipline, virtue, and the control of desire are indeed essential to a meaningful life. But let me ask, what is the use of wisdom if it does not act in the world? Ideas alone do not move humanity forward. Execution does. Vision without action is mere thought. The projects I've led, the companies I've built, the innovations I've pushed into the world, they matter because they change lives, create opportunities, and expand what is possible. You speak of moderation and restraint, but the world rewards boldness. Fortune does not favor the cautious. It favors the deliberate, the persistent, the ones who are willing to act when others hesitate. Self-mastery is admirable, yet must be combined with initiative, courage, and tangible impact. The value of life is not measured solely by inner calm, but by the effects we leave in the world. Leadership is tested in action, in risk, in the courage to dream bigger than the possible. Ethics and virtue, of course, are not ignored in this pursuit. A vision executed without regard for consequence is reckless. Ambition without morality is hollow. But to live safely, to avoid discomfort, to merely seek tranquility is to surrender the chance to influence history, to empower others, to create something lasting. True legacy is built by taking what you control and extending it outward into the world. The mind can plan, reason, and reflect, but without effort and execution, potential remains unrealized. Your counsel is valuable, but it risks inaction. Stoicism must meet ambition. The discipline of thought is strongest when paired with deliberate, courageous action. That is how ideas become empires, how vision becomes reality, and how the human spirit reaches its greatest heights. So, I ask, is wisdom alone enough to leave the world better than we found it? Or must it be paired with audacity, resilience, and the relentless pursuit of what can be achieved? That is the balance I seek, and the one that has driven every decision I have made.
Jeff, your achievements impress, and your words carry the force of a man who shapes reality with his hands. Yet I caution, a life built on external accomplishments alone is exposed to fortune, envy, and the impermanence of circumstance. You speak of legacy, impact, and empire, but what happens when wealth is lost, fame fades, or influence wanes? The Stoic measures success not by the applause of the world, but by the tranquility of the soul, the integrity of action, and the alignment of life with virtue. Boldness without wisdom can be a double-edged sword. Execution without reflection risks harm to oneself and others. Action is valuable when guided by reason, justice, and temperance. True influence is sustainable only when the individual is master of his passions, unmoved by excess desire or fear. A mind ungoverned cannot sustain a life of greatness, no matter the outward success. You argue that tranquility alone is insufficient. I agree, life requires engagement. Yet engagement must be disciplined, ethical, and intentional. To bend the world to one's vision is admirable, but the Stoic asks, to what end? Is the pursuit of empire fulfilling if the soul is restless, if conscience is compromised, If desires become insatiable, external victories are fleeting, internal mastery endures. I do not deny ambition or action, they are necessary, but they must be subordinated to virtue. To act with wisdom, to endure adversity without complaint, to temper desire with reason. This is how legacy becomes secure, how life is truly guided. The Stoic does not reject achievement, he refines it, ensuring that every effort is measured, purposeful, and aligned with what is good. So, Jeff, I say, continue to build, to lead, to innovate, but never forget the inner work, the discipline of thought, the restraint of desire, the cultivation of virtue. Without these, even the grandest accomplishments are fragile, vulnerable to fortune's whims. True greatness is not only what the world sees, it is what the soul attains.
Tonight, we witness a clash of vision and virtue. Jeff Bezos demonstrated the power of ambition, execution, and bold action. How ideas, when pursued relentlessly, can shape the world and leave a lasting impact. Seneca reminded us that true greatness is not only measured by what we build externally, but by the mastery of our own minds, the cultivation of virtue, and the alignment of life with reason. Life calls us to both, to act boldly, to take risks, and to create extraordinary achievements, while also reflecting, tempering desires, and nurturing inner wisdom. The greatest legacies arise when action is guided by virtue, when ambition is tempered with reflection, and when success serves both self and society. If this debate inspired you, like, comment, and subscribe now. More transformative clashes await, where the wisdom of the ages meets the icons of today. Watch, learn, and let the lessons from Seneca and Bezos guide how you act, lead, and pursue your own path to greatness.